how to fix the holes in our ozone layer. You don't know how to bring the salmon back up a dead stream. You don't know how to bring back an animal now extinct. And you can't bring back the forest that once grew where there is now a desert.
You have ignored us in the past and you will ignore us again. We have run out of excuses and we are running out of time.
Show us your faithfulness. Show us your trustworthiness.
जहां मेरे देश के सुरक्षा बल के जवान तैनात हैं, वहीं मेरा त्योहार है।
दिवाली श्री रामचंद्र वनवास पर 14 साल के बाद आए थे, इसीलिए हम लोग मनाते हैं इसको। तो श्री रामचंद्र आए थे तो वनवास में सबने दीप जलाए थे। हमें बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है जब दिवाली आने वाली होती है तो हमारे बस खुशी कुछ अलग होती है।
परिवार के साथ मनाते हैं, अपने माँ बाप भाई बहन बच्चों के साथ मनाते हैं। और मैसेज ये है कि हर तरफ सुकून हो, अमन हो, चैन हो, मिल के रहें, आपस में प्यार बांटें, खुशियाँ बांटें।
तिहार बेलामा अब यमदूतको चाहिँ नि एउटा दूत भन्ने हिसाबले नै पूजा गरिन्छ। हामीले त्यही भनेर पूजा गर्दै आएछौँ अहिलेसम्म। अब आफूसँग रहेको कुकुर यसो पूजा गर्न पाउँदा खुसी पनि लाग्छ।
यसले गर्दा हाम्रा चाहिँ डगरले धेरै ठुलो मद्दतहरू गरेको कारणले गर्दा विभिन्न सुरक्षा चुनौतीहरूलाई सामना गर्नको लागि सहयोगी भूमिका खेलेको विशेष गरेर चाहिँ कुकुरको चाहिँ एकदमै विशेष दिन भएको कारणले गर्दा एकदमै हामी धेरै खुसी पनि छौँ।
Lights, feastings and festivities. That was the atmosphere across South Asia and even around the world as they celebrated Diwali. Apart from India, Pakistan and Nepal, even Sri Lanka celebrated the Festival of Light as many thronged a temple to celebrate this festival. Hello there, you are watching Inside South Asia with me, Dasuni Athauda, and let's get started. Now that Diwali festivities are over, there can be no ignoring the gas chamber effect that was felt across the Indian capital of New Delhi. But firecracker smoke is just one part of the region's rising concerns for air pollution. And one such reason being that a lot of the countries are developing and growing in their economies in the South Asian region. Take a look as we decode this very real and developing air pollution crisis in the subcontinent.
The morning after effect, the day after Diwali in the Indian capital. Air pollution that had shown signs of easing after unexpected rains here spiked again. Pre-Diwali, the air quality index, though still in the poor category, was a relief to many. Post-Diwali, AQI raged past the 400 mark to levels defined as severe and critical. The primary reason, brazen flouting of the ban on firecrackers laid down by India's top court, with plenty of politics thrown in.
Right now, the situation of pollution in Delhi is very bad. Pollution is increasing. Pollution reduced earlier due to rain, but rainfall cannot occur repeatedly. It's festive season, and more vehicles move due to which pollution occurs. Pollution will rise again due to stubble burning from other states, and the government should take some measures against it, because rain cannot occur repeatedly.
Not too different from Delhi, the picture in Lahore, Pakistan last week. The country had topped world pollution charts in 2022. Here too, air quality indices soar into the 400s, driven by PM 2.5 and PM 10 levels. A recurring annual health nightmare for the city dweller.
There is so much pollution, people can barely walk in the smog. Residents are getting affected by an assortment of sicknesses. Early in the morning, some have to go to madrasas, kids have to go to school, and they are facing so many difficulties in doing so. You can see that everyone has a sore throat, a cold, and all sorts of illnesses. It happens every year, but this year, it is much more severe. Lahore is ranking at #1 in lists of most polluted cities.
Fact is though, the bigger malaise goes way beyond Diwali fireworks or any particular festival. Burning of agricultural waste in India's Punjab state has been blamed for up to 38% of the air pollution in the national capital. Winds push smoke into Delhi and surrounding areas where it stagnates. Extend that to large and small industry emissions, solid fuel combustion for cooking and heating, rising vehicular traffic emissions, and even human cremations. High activity levels that come with the spurt in economic development taking the toll. That is the common thread. A recent World Bank report suggests 1. Coordinated policy implementation and cooperation between countries of the region to mitigate the impact of air pollution. 2. Expansion into eco-friendly sectors, particularly small manufacturing, waste management, and agriculture. And 3. Fine-tuning economic incentives to enable private sector solutions, addressing distributional impacts and exploiting synergies with climate change policies. The stakes are huge. Alongside factors of climate change, air pollution threatens to reduce big progress leaps to little or nothing.
Pakistan and China further cemented their ties with larger-than-life military exercises in the Arabian Sea last week. Further, Pakistan openly supporting China's Belt and Road initiatives shows how strong the all-weather allies are. Now, this relationship is a one of concern for India purely for security reasons. Here's more.
It's the 3rd edition of the China-Pakistan naval exercise Sea Guardians, and the biggest yet. The theme this year resounds to joint response to maritime security threats. The 7-day joint drill is spread over 2 phases, shore-based exchanges and maritime operations, including formation maneuvering, helicopter cross-check landing, joint research and rescue, and anti-submarine drills. 6 vessels of the Chinese PLA and 9 from the Pakistani side put up a big show of combined strength. China's Defense Ministry defined the joint Navy exercise as a bid to consolidate and develop the China-Pakistan all-weather strategic cooperative partnership and improve the level of actual combat training between the 2 militaries. The latest exercise comes notably days after the India-US 2+2 dialogue, ever-warming China-Pakistan ties in recent years is seen as a direct counter to rising India-US ties. Biggest of all, it extends to Chinese President Xi Jinping's pet Belt and Road Initiative. 10 years into this project that has vastly broadened China's global influence, Pakistan has reiterated strong support.
I anticipate and I expect that Pakistan would be a very important partner in this journey with this BRI's initiative. I think so. This is a historical moment for Pakistan. I feel it's a moment for Pakistan for the big push, which the economic historian would call. It has to be in every country's life, in every nation's life. Pakistan does need that big push to transform its social structure, its political structure, its state structure, and do that transformation from a 19th century model to a modern living lifestyle.
The Pakistan part of the BRI, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor or CPEC, a 3,000-kilometer infrastructure project through Pakistan. Developing a deep water port at Gwadar on the Arabian Sea and a rail line through Pakistan would help boost China-Europe trade. Setting aside security and Chinese debt concerns, Pakistan sees big benefits in the creation of more than 2.3 million jobs.
Mankind has never seen such level, such depth of physical connectivity with one another, which definitely does stimulate our civilizational connectivity, our cultural connectivity, which would diversify the human interaction more. Not just diversification, but I think so that sense of inclusiveness of diversified background, be it religious, ethnic, racial, that would become a new normal. And that new normal would be a byproduct of BRI's physical connectivity.
Come back to the China-Pakistan maritime exercises in the Arabian Sea, India's neighborhood. It's the 8th time the PLA has deployed a submarine in the Indian Ocean since 2013. And that's besides rising instances of Chinese research vessels in the Indian Ocean region posing a concern for New Delhi. Fears are China is actively mapping the region for military operations. The threat is real enough. For now, it's close watch and high alert.
But all's not well with China and another country of interest, and that being Nepal. Nepal recently sparked probes into a Beijing-based project while also banning TikTok, sending shockwaves across Beijing. Here's the story.
A cabinet meeting has decided to discontinue TikTok due to concerns about its impact on social harmony. While the technical aspects of shutting down TikTok may take some time to finalize, the decision itself is effective immediately.
Tensions are rising between Nepal and China. In the latest move, the Nepalese government has decided to ban the Chinese-owned social media app TikTok for disturbing social harmony and goodwill. Local media said more than 1,600 TikTok-related cybercrimes had been registered in Nepal in the last 4 years. The government said internet service providers had been asked to close the app. While TikTok did not respond to requests for comments,
TikTok has become a main source of news and information for the people in the country. Therefore, the Nepal cabinet has decided to ban the app altogether. However, the technicality of removing the app from the country will take some time, as the cabinet has announced. Many experts have criticized the moves, and this decision has been receiving mixed reviews and mixed opinions from different parts of society, while many have criticized the government's decision on the grounds of curtailing to freedom of speech.
The Chinese tech company owned by ByteDance has been banned in over a dozen countries, including India, over security concerns. On all previous occasions, it has called such bans misguided and based on misconceptions. The decision is likely to irk China, that claims to have invested in infrastructure projects in the Himalayan nation. The move by the government comes as Nepal is also investigating Chinese investment in the Pokhara airport, days after the New York Times report flagged construction quality issues and cost irregularities at the airport financed by Chinese state-owned firms. Nepal's anti-corruption agency initiated a probe into the $216 million international airport that was inaugurated in January. Nepal then sought a loan to grant conversion from Beijing over its projects, a request denied by Beijing. Pokhara is the latest in a string of Chinese debt finance projects that have come under scrutiny by nations facing low-quality construction and rising debt burden from China, echoing a larger trend of borrowing nations wary of China's aggressive infrastructure financing in their countries.
Up next, let's take a look at a few other stories that have made headlines in South Asia.
Bangladesh is to hold parliamentary elections on the 7th of January. The country's longest-serving Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, will seek a 5th term. The announcement comes even as opposition parties stage massive protests demanding Sheikh Hasina's resignation and setting up of a caretaker government. At least 4 people, including a policeman, have been killed and hundreds injured in violent protests across the country in the past 2 weeks. The main opposition, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, the BNP, whose top leadership is either jailed or in exile, has already said it will boycott the next national election if Hasina does not resign and a caretaker government is sworn in. The ruling Awami League has dismissed the demand, saying elections would be held under Hasina. The government also rejected proposals for dialogue with the opposition by the United States and other major Western countries, calling BNP a terrorist organization.
A UN report on water scarcity in South Asia has set alarm bells ringing. It says a staggering 347 million children under the age of 18 in the region are exposed to high or extremely high water scarcity. This is the highest number among all regions in the world. The finding comes ahead of the 28th edition of the United Nations Climate Change Conference, or COP28, to be held in Dubai from the 30th of November to the 12th of December. The 8 countries of South Asia, comprising Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Maldives, Pakistan and Sri Lanka, are home to more than a quarter of the world's children. The report also noted how water scarcity affects a child's well-being and growth and causes food insecurity, malnutrition and a number of related diseases. At the upcoming COP28, UNICEF will call on world leaders and the international community to take critical steps with and for children to secure a livable planet, including elevating children within the final COP28 covered decision and convening an expert dialogue on children and climate change.
Pakistani cricketer Babar Azam has stepped down as the country's team captain, days after a string of defeats and a group stage exit from the World Cup. Azam has captained Pakistan in all 3 formats from October 2019 and led the team to number 1 position in the ICC One-Day International Rankings for the first time in May. Pakistan slid from the spot after finishing 4th in the Asia Cup and 5th in the World Cup. Babar Azam's resignation comes 2 days after Pakistan bowling coach Morkel stepped down. The Pakistan Cricket Board has announced batsman Shan Masood as the new Test captain, while pacer Shaheen Afridi will captain the side in the T20 format.
The Sri Lankan government unveiled the budget for the financial year of 2024. Set in an environment of economic challenges, this present budget for the year of 2024 is looking at a budget deficit that amounts to 2.85 trillion Sri Lankan rupees, which is an equivalent of 9.1% of the country's GDP.
පීලිපැන ඇදවැටී තිබුණු ශ්‍රී ලංකා ආර්ථිකය පසුගිය වසර කාලය තුල යලිත් පීල්ල මත තබන්නට දැන් අපට හැකි වී තිබෙනවා. අපේ සඳහා ආනයන සීමා කිරීම වැනි తాවකාලික පියවර රැසක් ගත්තා. නමුත් එවැනි සීමා කිරීම දිගින් දිගටම පවත්වාගෙන යාම ආර්ථිකයට හිතකර නැහැ. දැන් අපි දීර්ඝකාලීන තිරසර පියවර ගත යුතු කාලයයි. පීල්ල මත තැබූ ආර්ථිකය යලිත් පීලි මත දුවවන්නට හැකි වන්නේ එවිටයි. මරණයෙන් බේරාගත් ආර්ථිකය පූර්ණ වශයෙන් සුවපත් කිරීමට හැකි වන්නේ එවිටයි.
With an eye on international financial stability, Sri Lanka's budget for 2024 reveals a pivotal connection to the International Monetary Fund. The government's fiscal strategy is crucial to sustaining the IMF bailout program. As the nation sets ambitious targets and recalibrates economic parameters, the outcome of this budget will undoubtedly have a ripple effect on the economic landscape. And that's all we have on our show this week. Before we leave, take a look at this song, Abundance in Millets, a song that features Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which has now been nominated for the 2024 Grammys under the category of Best Global Music Performance. It would be quite the feat if this accolade is won on the 4th of February. For the WION team, I'm Dasuni Athauda, and I will see you next week.
Millets are a wonder, an end to hunger. What if we could change the world? What if we could change the world?